Ruji has to say.
They're so far away. I'm gonna teleport. Because I'm lazy. And also I'm patient because this is way quicker. Why Ruji? Why not Sungo? Do you have preferences there, Paimon? Apparently she does. Sorry, Sungo, I'm not here for you. Hi, Ruji.
Hey there! We'd like to ask you a quick question. Do you know if anyone around here has been looking for him? For Kaidahara Kazuha, we mean.
I'm sorry, Paimon. Did you just ask, has anyone been looking for Kazuha? Did you miss the part where Chow, whatever his name was, at the Crux Fleet station point, was just saying that mass crowds of people were looking for Kazuha? And then you seriously just asked this dude if anyone's been looking for Kazuha.
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaidehara. I've heard a lot about you. It is an honor to finally meet you today.
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate any help you can offer.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Let me think. I can't seem to recall anything of immediate interest.
No. I was targeted in an assault. I mean, he's the true target, but I was physically targeted.
Mr. Kaidehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking for him.
I will say, though, it's kind of really odd and awkward that he's only suddenly the talk of the town now. Quite a bit of time has passed since that situation took place. We've had, festivals in Inazuma in between this time. A's fought herself and reminisced about the past, blah, blah, blah. We've had a lot of time having passed between that event and now. Yet people are only talking about him now. That's either just really odd in the concept or the construct of the storyline that something has acted as a catalyst to have people talking about it now, or it's just really poor writing that, oh no, he was the talk of the town all along. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We just didn't mention it until now. And that's just lazy.
To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaidehara's personal information. Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want. If these were more legitimate commissions, Sango would have snapped them up in an instant.
Of course she would have. She wants the money.
Millions? Of mora? Whoa! Oh, wait. Even at that price, you probably still shouldn't.
Baited, Paimon. Nice work. By the way, do you even know how many millions of mora we have, Paimon? We are loaded for the foreseeable future.
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for my privacy.
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing details of other people's day-to-day life just for the sake of it.
I mean, if it pays money.
Sorry, I got a little off topic. What I'm really trying to say is, it doesn't surprise me that a complete stranger is looking for Mr. Kaidehara.
Which is what I was trying to say with my initial questioning of Paimon.
But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks or similar incidents recently that stand out as particularly unusual? The Tenryou Commission had very few leads. I thought you might have some information from different sources.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets.
Hey, kitty.
But typically, it's only the most trivial events that manage to escape their attention.
But it may seem trivial if all the correct information isn't supplied.
If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou Commission would absolutely get involved.
That does make sense.
It rather does.
Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
I mean, we could physically go look for the guy.
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now.
There's no way of giving praise. It was also not easy for me to fight him off. It was really easy. The fight was over in 2 seconds and I was very let down.
I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble around me. In fact, I'm quite relieved that you were the one he targeted.
Because it was safe for me to be hit, yeah.
It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured or lose their life because of me. For the poor victim, this would be a completely senseless crime.
Don't worry, we'll find him.
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaedehara. Surely this same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to fearlessly raise your blade against the almighty Shogun.
I hate to break it to you, Ruji, but that is absolutely not the reason he fearlessly rose his blade against the almighty Shogun. Yes, Kazuha is actually very humble, and it doesn't grate on me. A lot of humble people really irritate me. Just ugh. But he's fine. I don't mind his humility. But yeah, I hate to break it to you, Ruji. I think vengeance, revenge, anger, that kind of emotion may have been feeling a bit of that.
You flatter me. Truth be told, I don't know quite what came over me in that moment.
As I said, you were thinking of your dead friend, and you just had to act on that.
You are much too humble. Don't worry, I completely understand your concerns. I will try my best to gather whatever leads I can for you.
Wow, how selfless of you. I'm not paying you. Thanks.
Oh, actually, there was one strange incident over the last few days. It doesn't involve an attack, though. Let me tell you about it just in case.
Sure. During times like this, the more information we have, the better.
All right then. Recently, 2 people went missing from the city at around the same time.
Dude, that sounds like it should just be investigated anyway.
One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a samurai from the Amenoma clan.
I can see how both of those would be linked to Kazuha or the Kaedehara clan, for sure.
Amenoma. Now there's a familiar name.
Right. Yuya is the nephew of Amenoma Togo, the owner of Amenoma Smithy.
The other blacksmith or a different relative?
2 grown men going missing at the same time. Their cases are likely connected, but I don't know much in the way of details.
Well, I can see a connection already.
I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with the blade. Perhaps he is the one you are looking for.
No, he isn't. But is the Tenryou Commission doing nothing about this? This seems kind of really freaking important. Damn.
Understood, though it seems highly unlikely to me. I neither know this man, nor do I have any idea why he may wish to attack me.
Let's consider this a favor for Ryuji. We'll investigate both incidents at the same time.
Sure, can't hurt. We never know what we might find out along the way.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by making some inquiries at the Amenoma Smithy.
Sounds good. All the best with your investigation. I'll get moving shortly myself.
Damn. That sounds not good. Oh, whoops. I forgot we were standing. I thought we were like the next rung down. Okay, it wasn't this guy. Hajime was who I was thinking of. But still, it's this dude's relative. That's not good.
Ah, if it isn't Kaedehara Kazuha. What brings you here today?
Huh? You two know each other?
Well, yeah. They're in like competing families in the smithery business.
Yes, the Kaedehara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. Historically, there have always been deep links between the 2 clans. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects.
And that's definitely the kind of thing that he would do.
Yes. You may recall the story of the Raiden Gokaden
Yes.
from the Iridori Festival.
I do.
Though all bladesmiths trace their craft back to the same source, over time, each of us has arrived at a different blade-making philosophy, spawning the development of different branches of the same art. As an example, the Amenoma art strives to emulate the abiding patience and determination of water, as it turns stone to sand.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you've waxed poetic on this before.
There is nothing mystical to our work, There is only practice, day in and day out, until both body and mind have memorized the craft, turning each motion of every technique into an intrinsic part of the bladesmith's life. As for the art of the Kaedehara clan, I believe it's called the Ishin art.
That's right. Ishin art strives for complete harmony between blade and mind from the moment that forging begins.
I hate to break it to you, but all you gotta do is bang metal in a fashion following a technique and boom, sword made. I know there's more to it. Don't at me at that. But like when it comes down to it, you don't need to have some sort of harmony between blade and mind and channeling water. You just get on with it.
For only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings, and eventually become an extension of its wielder's will.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with you on this one. It sounds nice and poetic and philosophical, but in reality, no.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their blades, but an Ishin blade chooses its owner.
I'd like to see how a non-sentient blade does that.
You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade. It gladdens my heart to see that although the Kaedehara clan has fallen on hard times, its ideals and virtues are alive and well.
I mean, if he were to carry on the Kaedehara name for the clan, wouldn't he have to become a blacksmith again? Like his family? Because isn't the whole point not just wielding the swords, but making the swords?
You overestimate me. My actions are guided by my own personal sentiments, not by any noble aspirations on behalf of my clan. But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit today is to gather some information on your missing nephew. We hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn out that this case is connected to another we are pursuing.
You know, this dude is quite chipper for somebody who's just had his nephew go missing.
Ah, yes. My nephew. I reported the case to the Tenryou Commission, but I haven't heard anything back so far. He didn't say a word
So the
before
Tenryou
he
Commission
left,
is aware of it.
which is very unlike him. I'm still completely at a loss on what to make of it, but I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile. All I can do now is wait for the news from the Tenryou Commission.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too. Know anything about that?
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, he gave me a very cryptic look and said that he was going to give me a great gift.
Huh.
I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato after that. The next thing I heard was that a fire had broken out at the warehouse, and neither of them came back.
Well, that escalated quickly. A fire?
Yes. Strange, isn't it? I wonder what could have caused it. Unfortunately, there was very little evidence left behind, so nobody knows what really happened.
Well, I guess we're about to go hit up this place.
Do you have any thoughts on what Yuya may have wanted to give you?
Well, I'd say it's obviously something sword related, right? Otherwise, what else would he want?
If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare weapon. Otherwise, there would have been no reason for him to get my hopes up.
This dude is a dude with a one-track mind.
He's never been particularly interested in blade forging, but has always had a fondness for blade testing, and can sense even the most minute differences in blade quality.
Oh, that's a usable skill.
He is extraordinarily talented in martial arts, particularly when it comes to the art of the sword.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find to be objectionable. The person we are looking for, he attacked this friend of mine. Based on the evidence we have gathered so far, only Yuya seems to match the suspect's profile.
Only because you have no one else to use as a suspect.
What? No. Absolutely impossible. Yuya is not that kind of person. He is humble and kind. Even his training is done with the goal of calming his mind. He has never gotten into a fight before.
So he excels at martial arts, but has never actually fought anybody. Okay.
Is that so?
Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that Yuya would never draw his blade without a very good reason. But, with that said, it's equally out of character for him to just disappear, with neither farewell nor fair warning. I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if coerced, or otherwise compelled by circumstances unbeknownst to me. Anyway, should you find him, please let me know as soon as possible.
Don't worry. You have our word.
Well, you have his anyway.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
I never thought that was the go. We still need to get the info from the Nagato family.
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the two men met each other.
You kind of would expect there to be some sort of word on the street about the fire. No one's mentioning the disappearances, but no one's mentioning a fire in a building, so it can't have been too excessive, or people would have been talking about it.
Let's pay a visit to the Nagato household.
Right? Or am I overestimating the power of gossip? Where is the Nagato household? Oh, it's around the back corner. Okie Bloop. Probably was a better way to go than this way, but this is the way we're going now. Hi, map lady. Long time no see. Excuse me, coming through.
My apologies. Commemorating house only accepts guests of sufficient status. Please don't enter without permission.
Oh, it's just cause we're chatting to herself. Typical. You're lucky I don't like Lan more than I don't like you. Nagato Sachiko. Hey, Sachiko. Is it your partner that's gonna miss?
But we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now.
Oh, wait, what? What? Huh?
My husband has
Huh,
gone
it was a
missing,
partner.
and I'm still trying to find him.
But why do you assume that I'm a debt collector?
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the investigation. We'd like to ask you some questions about Mr. Nagato's disappearance, if we may.
Ah, I see. I thought the debt collectors had come to visit again.
Again? Oh dear. Why are you in debt?
I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state. Has some new information come out? Do you know where he's gone?
Why are you in debt, though? That's just not a normal thing to do.
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. We're still trying to find out as much as we can to inform our search. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's current situation?
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would be strapped for Mora.
That's a long story.
Well, do tell.
Ever since I've known him, he's been an avid collector of all sorts of things. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but seeing how enthusiastic and excited they made him, I was happy to believe that they were just extremely important to him. Everything was fine when we first got married, but as time went by, things changed for the worse.
Uh-oh, what happened?
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to borrowing money just so he could pay for them.
Yeah, that's called like a gambling problem or just a problem, an overspending in general. And you probably should have kicked him out the door long before now because he's just going to drag you down into his problems.
Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he
Our?
started getting interested in weapons.
His
It
expenses.
was awful. There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse admiring his weapons even as debt collectors were descending upon our house.
Yeah, it sounds like he has a problem. Or we're trying to intimate that there's something wrong with a weapon he accrued in a magical manner. That's a bit of a cop-out.
He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring at them like he was in a trance.
And did you do anything about this? Because it kind of seems like your livelihood is spiraling out of your control.
I'm happy he has a hobby and I'm willing to support him. But making ends meet has to come first. I've tried talking to him about it so many times, but he never listens.
Yep, and that's how you get dragged down with him.
On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said, if he refused to sell his collectibles and pay off his debts, I would divorce him and take the children with me.
Thank God you grew a spine. What did he do, though?
Whoa!
What do you mean, whoa? What else did you bloody expect? Her life is going downhill rapidly because of this guy.
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things, he leaves the decision-making to me. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts hadn't pushed our family to the brink. After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. When he finally spoke, he awkwardly mumbled that he would pick out a few items to sell. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family?
Okay, so your newfound spine is not quite as rigid as I would like. It seems like it's a bit weak in places. But hey, at least you grew one. You did the right thing. It's important to set boundaries.
Had I not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found ourselves in such a predicament.
Well, I already said that, but that sounds like a you problem.
And I also don't know if he had actually come to his senses, or if he was simply angry with me.
Definitely the latter.
The next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire, and both he and the buyer had gone missing.
I see. I understand.
Do you though?
Ame no Mayuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato.
Well, we know that.
During the
guessed
sale,
that.
a fire broke out at the warehouse, and both men disappeared.
At first, I assumed they must have gotten into an argument over the price, but my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard to imagine him getting into a fierce argument.
Maybe he was feeling the pressure from the debts?
I don't know. He just disappeared after the warehouse burned down.
I'm sorry, back it up. The warehouse completely burned down? As in the whole thing just crisped? How is nobody talking about this? Good God.
Perhaps he's too afraid to come home, now that all his collectibles have been lost in the fire, and he's got no way to pay off our debts.
Well, so he should be. He got you in the situation in the first place. But you kind of need him to get out of that to help your kids.
Even though I'm still a little mad at him.
A little?
We're a family, and I want us to face our family's crisis together.
Yeah, but he's not facing it. And he's certainly not facing it with you. He's just causing more problems.
As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can work things out.
Yeah, good luck.
Please don't get upset. There could be more to this situation than meets the eye.
Okay. Yeah, they're trying to insinuate some sort of magical, tampering.
If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, it is quite unusual for this habit to change so drastically over a short period.
Not really. Mental instability can be quite sudden. All it needs is, I suppose all it needs is a catalyst, but sometimes it doesn't even need that. It just happens.
But the information we gathered from the other side suggests Ame no Mayuya is also a mild-mannered man who would not be likely to start an argument. This situation is getting a little confusing.
What's confusing about it? You just need to find a third party.
A little confusing? More like completely mystifying.
Yeah, mystifying, I think, is a better word. It's more applicable in the situation. I'm not confused at all. There are still things we need to learn, but I'm not confused.
Let's try a change of scenery and see if we can piece together what we've learned.
I think you just put it together already, but okay.
Rest assured, we'll notify you if we find anything.
Thank you so much. I just want him to come home.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance.
I still say there has to be a third party.
The fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded, though its exact role is a mystery. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, Paima was thinking that maybe someone accidentally knocked over an oil lamp and,
Yeah, but that doesn't account for why they went missing.
Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
And here I was listening to you tell me how smart you were. They must have had an argument during the sale. Perhaps the fire was deliberately used to hide the truth. We're still missing crucial information. I mean, yes.
Right. I very much agree with you. It seems highly likely that we're missing a piece of the puzzle. Working off what we know so far, there are too many things that don't add up. The chances are that there are still some clues left for us to discover.
To the warehouse.
One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered, while Mr. Nagato is introverted and passive. Neither seems like the type of person who is inclined towards initiating conflict. Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, is also the only one of them with the potential motive to disappear after the fire. The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just what could have happened there?
This also doesn't seem connected to the case of the attacker.
Right. Although the time frame seems to broadly match, no other details that we've learned seem to link the two events together.
That's because we're missing the key link.
Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker, namely that he is principally a practitioner of the blade testing techniques of Amenoma art, not those of the combat-oriented Ishin art.
Darn! We thought we could get two birds with one stone here, but at this rate, it's starting to look like a wild goose chase.
Well, yeah, but would the traveler have mistaken the Amenoma art for an Ishin art? Does she really understand the difference between the two blade techniques sufficiently to have realized that he was fighting more like Kazuha than, say, an Amenoma clansman?
Let's keep going, since we've come this far. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs. Nagato will be able to get some closure.
Okay, but where should we go now?
The warehouse?
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse. There's still a chance we may be able to find some shreds of evidence.
But if it's a burned building, I don't know what you're gonna find. But that is what I've been saying all along. We should be going to the warehouse. Go through the mist, a name unveiled. Go to the warehouse where the fire broke out. Where is it? Just on the outskirts of town. So yeah, it basically is in town. So I don't understand why nobody was talking about this. Just seems a bit awkward.